projected 35% revenue growth in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025. Overview. In a comprehensive analysis highlighting optimistic trends across 4 key industry sectors, projections indicate a 35% revenue growth by 2025 in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production. This report delves into the factors driving growth in each sector, the challenges they face, and the implications for future investments. Agriculture. According to the Purdue University AG Economy Barometer, U.S. farmers began 2025 with a heightened sense of optimism. The barometer's index rose to 141, fueled by a 9% increase in corn prices and a 5% rise in soybean prices early in the year. Notably, the current conditions index rose significantly, suggesting a positive shift in sentiment among farmers. Financial indicators further support this optimism. The Farm Financial Performance Index saw a 13-point increase, indicating farmers expect a stronger financial year compared to 2024. The interest in solar energy leasing is also growing among farmers, reflecting a diversification of income sources. However, concerns linger regarding trade policies, with 40% of farmers fearing potential trade wars that could adversely affect exports. Key trends in agriculture. Higher crop prices, positive price movements for corn and soybeans bolster farmer confidence. Solar energy leasing, an emerging revenue source that reflects adaptability in the agricultural sector. Trade policy concerns. A significant number of farmers express anxiety over potential trade wars affecting market access. Real estate. While specific data on real estate was not detailed, the sector's growth trajectory is expected to align with agricultural profitability. Increased agricultural income typically leads to higher investments in rural real estate as farmers look to expand their landholdings or invest in residential properties. The anticipated rise in farmland values suggests a robust outlook for real estate investments closely tied to agricultural performance. Key trends in real estate. Increased demand, driven by rising agricultural incomes, especially in rural areas. Farmland value growth. Expectations of rising farmland values could lead to increased investments in real estate. Public safety. The public safety sector is projected for significant growth as communities increasingly prioritize safety measures. Despite limited detailed data, it is evident that rising crime rates and community demands for enhanced security will drive investment in funding in this sector. The federal and state governments are likely to allocate more resources towards bolstering public safety infrastructure. Key trends in public safety. Increased funding, anticipated growth in funding to support community safety initiatives. Community demand, a direct correlation between rising crime rates and the need for enhanced security measures. Film production. The film production industry is undergoing a transformative phase, recovering from substantial disruptions caused by strikes and the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2024, production levels in the U.S. plummeted by 40%, forcing states to reassess their incentive programs to attract filmmakers back. States like California are proposing increased funding for production incentives, with Governor Gavin Newsom advocating for a jump to $750 million annually from a previous $330 million. New Jersey and Louisiana have also enhanced their incentive programs, with New Jersey's allocation significantly increased to $300 million for general applicants. These measures aim to counteract production declines and make U.S. locations more competitive against countries like Canada, which continue to attract projects with favorable tax incentives. Key trends in film production. State incentives, enhanced tax credit programs are crucial for attracting and retaining film projects. Recovery from declines. The industry is slowly rebounding from the pandemic and strike-related disruptions. Competition with Canada. The strong incentive programs in Canada pose challenges for U.S. states trying to retain productions. Common key points across sectors. 1. Optimism prevails. All four sectors exhibit a degree of optimism about growth by 2025 despite the challenges they face. 2. Role of incentives. In both agriculture and film production, government incentives play a pivotal role in stimulating growth and investment. 3. Investment trends. Rising investment in agriculture and film production reflects broader confidence in future profitability, with potential positive impacts on related sectors like real estate. Timeline of relevant events. January 2025, the Purdue AG Economy Barometer reflects increased farmer optimism, indicating a favorable outlook for agriculture and associated real estate investments. 2024, the film production sector experiences a significant downturn due to industry strikes and pandemic impacts, prompting states to propose new incentive measures. 2025, legislative actions in California, New Jersey, and Louisiana aim to enhance production incentives, signaling a proactive approach to reviving the film industry. Conclusion. The overarching narrative across agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production is one of recovery and growth. While each sector faces its unique set of challenges, the optimistic outlook and strategic investments signal a promising future heading into 2025. Key governmental support and sectoral adaptability are essential components that will shape the trajectory of these industries as they navigate evolving market dynamics. The analysis of projected 35% revenue growth in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 reveals several counterintuitive insights across these sectors. 1. Agriculture positive sentiment amid trade concerns. Despite a strong positive outlook among U.S. farmers driven by rising crop prices and a favorable financial performance index, there remains a significant underlying anxiety related to trade policies. While the current conditions index indicates farmer optimism, with 40% fearing a trade war could negatively impact exports, the broader implications suggest that despite financial improvements, external trade factors could still pose serious risks. This juxtaposition highlights the complexity of farmer sentiments, where optimism coexists with significant concerns about external economic pressures. 2. Real estate growth linked to agricultural prosperity. Typically, one would assume that urban real estate markets drive growth. But the analysis indicates that rural real estate is expected to flourish alongside rising agricultural incomes. Farmers reinvesting their profits into land and property is a counterintuitive notion. One might expect a division between agricultural and urban economic growth, yet they are increasingly interdependent. 3. Public safety revenue growth. Despite crime rates, the projection of significant revenue growth in public safety typically correlates with rising crime rates. However, this counterintuitive relationship suggests that while communities are investing more in safety measures, it may also indicate a societal shift towards preemptive measures rather than reactive responses. This trend indicates a potential societal recognition of the need for enhanced safety protocols in response to perceived threats rather than actual crime rates alone. 4. Film production recovery amid industry disruption. The film production sector is experiencing a projected resurgence in revenue. Even after a 40% drop in production levels due to strikes and pandemic disruptions. The counterintuitive aspect lies in the expectation of recovery driven by increased state incentives as opposed to organic growth from consumer demand. States like California and New Jersey are responding proactively to attract productions back, suggesting that recovery might be more reliant on financial incentives than on traditional market forces, which traditionally would dictate growth. 5. Investment climate in film production post-pandemic. The film industry's recovery is hinged not only on incentives but also on a transformation of business models toward more sustainable practices. The emphasis on quality over quantity as studios focus on strategic spending contrasts sharply with previous industry norms where a high volume of content was prioritized. This shift could lead to a more robust industry in the long term but is counterintuitive to historical practices of maximizing output. 6. Solar energy leasing in agriculture. Farmers are diversifying their income through solar energy leasing, a prospect that may seem counterintuitive given the traditional focus on crop production alone. This trend indicates a broader recognition of alternative revenue streams among farmers who are increasingly willing to adapt to market changes, suggesting a shift in mindset that combines agricultural practices with renewable energy initiatives. 7. Interdependence of sectors. The connections between agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production highlight an ecosystem where growth in one sector can positively influence others. The expectation that improved agricultural performance will boost real estate demand and that increased public safety investment may enhance community attractiveness for film production showcases a counterintuitive interdependence. This suggests a more integrated approach to economic growth across different sectors than previously assumed. In summary, the projected growth across agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 presents several counterintuitive insights that challenge conventional expectations of sector performance and interdependencies. The complexities of optimism amid concerns. The intertwining of rural and urban growth and the evolving dynamics of industry recovery illustrate a nuanced economic landscape heading into 2025. The projected 35% revenue growth in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 signifies an optimistic outlook for these sectors, yet there are nuances that could be easily overlooked which are crucial for understanding the broader implications of these trends. Agriculture, a shift in sentiment amidst challenges. One of the critical insights from the agriculture sector is the notable optimism among farmers. As evidenced by the increase in the Purdue University AG Economy Barometer. The rise in the Current Conditions Index and Future Expectations Index points to a recovery from previous downturns. However, the persistent concerns regarding trade policies and operating loan repayments signal underlying vulnerabilities within this apparent growth. Notably, 40% of farmers express fears of a trade war impacting exports, which could undermine the projected growth. The significance of this concern lies in its potential to disrupt not just local economies but also global supply chains. Additionally, the growing interest in solar energy leasing among farmers reflects a diversification strategy that may not only provide additional revenue streams but also positions farmers as crucial players in the renewable energy sector. This shift could redefine the agricultural landscape and contribute to sustainable practices, which are increasingly important in the context of climate change. Real estate, interlinked with agricultural performance. While the report on real estate lacks detailed data, the correlation between rising agricultural incomes and real estate demand in rural areas is a critical point. As farmers experience increased profitability, their capacity and willingness to invest in real estate could drive land prices up, creating a ripple effect in local economies. The expectation of rising farmland values, as indicated by the short-term Farmland Value Expectations Index, signifies a robust investment outlook. However, the potential for speculative bubbles in rural real estate markets could pose risks if the agricultural sector faces unforeseen downturns. Public safety, a growing need for resources. The public safety sector's growth is noteworthy, especially in light of increasing crime rates and community demands for enhanced security measures. However, the absence of specific data regarding this sector raises questions about the sustainability of such growth. Investment in public safety typically reacts to societal pressures rather than proactive planning. The significance here lies in the potential for resource allocation to be driven by reactive measures rather than strategic foresight. This could lead to imbalances in funding and prioritization, ultimately affecting community safety and trust in law enforcement. Film production, recovery, and competition. The film production sector's projected growth following a significant decline in 2024 is complex. While states like California propose increased funding for production incentives, the competition from other regions, particularly Canada, poses a serious threat. The changes in legislation in states like New Jersey and Louisiana reflect a strategic response to retain and attract productions. However, the real significance lies in the long-term implications of these incentives. The film industry's recovery is not just about returning to pre-pandemic production levels, it is about establishing a sustainable model that can withstand future disruptions. The focus on independent film production as a bright spot in this landscape hints at a shift towards more grassroots diversified content creation which may democratize the industry. However, the reliance on tax incentives could lead to volatility in production locations and economic dependency on state funding. Overarching themes: optimism versus vulnerability. Across all sectors, the theme of optimism is prevalent, yet it is often juxtaposed with underlying vulnerabilities. The interconnectedness of these industries means that growth in one area can inadvertently affect another. For instance, agricultural growth could influence real estate values, while instability in trade policies could impact farmers' investment in both land and production capabilities. Furthermore, the emphasis on incentives in film production highlights a broader trend where industries may become overly reliant on government support, which could be unsustainable in the long term. This reliance raises critical questions about the adaptability of these sectors to market fluctuations and changing societal needs. Conclusion: implications for stakeholders. For stakeholders in these industries, the projected growth presents opportunities, but it also necessitates a careful examination of the risks involved. Policymakers, investors, and community leaders must consider the underlying vulnerabilities and develop strategies that not only capitalize on current optimism but also build resilience against potential downturns. This balanced approach will be crucial in navigating the complexities of these sectors as they evolve towards 2025 and beyond. The projected 35% revenue growth in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 presents an optimistic outlook for various sectors despite their unique challenges and dynamics. Here are the 4 most valuable points for in-depth analysis and discussion. 1. Optimism across sectors. The overarching sentiment across all 4 sectors is one of optimism despite facing significant challenges. In agriculture, the Purdue University AG Economy Barometer indicates a positive outlook among U.S. farmers driven primarily by rising crop prices. This optimism translates into increased expectations for financial performance, which can lead to higher investment in farming operations and related real estate. Similarly, the film production industry, although recovering from substantial declines due to strikes and the pandemic, is seeing renewed interest and proposed incentives to attract filmmakers back to the U.S. This sentiment is echoed in the public safety sector, which is experiencing growth as communities demand enhanced safety measures. Understanding the factors driving this optimism, such as market conditions, legislative support, and community needs, can provide insights into how these sectors might evolve in the coming years. 2. Impact of incentives in film production. The film production industry exemplifies how state incentives can significantly influence economic recovery and growth. Following a sharp decline in production levels due to industry strikes in the pandemic, states like California, New Jersey, and Louisiana are implementing or enhancing their incentive programs to attract filmmakers. California's proposal to increase its annual funding for production incentives to $750 million reflects a strategic move to regain lost projects. New Jersey's initiatives to boost its tax credit allocation indicate a competitive push to become a filming hotspot. The implications of such incentives go beyond attracting productions; they can lead to job creation, infrastructure development, and economic revitalization within local communities. An analysis of these incentive programs and their effectiveness can shed light on the critical role of governmental support in fostering industry resilience. 3. Investment trends and their implications. Investment trends in agriculture and film production offer valuable insights into future economic potential. In agriculture, the increase in farmer optimism reflected in rising crop prices is likely to lead to more significant investments in machinery, technology, and sustainable practices. The interest in solar energy leasing also indicates a diversification of income sources for farmers, aligning with broader trends towards sustainability. In film production, the renewed focus on independent films bolstered by favorable production incentives suggests a shift towards more diverse storytelling and local talent engagement. Examining these investment trends can help stakeholders understand the broader economic implications, particularly concerning land use, labor markets, and technological advancements. 4. Sector-specific challenges and responses. While optimism prevails, each sector faces distinct challenges that could impact growth trajectories. In agriculture, concerns about trade policies and operating loan repayments pose risks that farmers are wary of, with a considerable percentage fearing a potential trade war. The film industry's recovery is complicated by the need for studios to recalibrate their business models post-strikes, balancing costs with production quality. Public safety continues to grapple with rising crime rates and the need for adequate funding to implement effective measures. Each sector's response to its challenges, whether through policy advocacy, investments in technology, or community engagement, will be crucial in determining whether the projected growth can be realized. Analyzing these responses will provide a deeper understanding of how sectors can adapt to changing economic landscapes. In summary, the projected growth in these sectors signals a potential rebound and transformation driven by optimism, strategic incentives, investment trends, and the navigation of individual challenges. A detailed examination of these points can inform stakeholders about future opportunities and risks, contributing to more informed decision-making and strategic planning within these industries. 1. Post-World War II economic boom, 1945 to 1960. After the conclusion of World War II, many countries, particularly the United States, experienced significant economic growth. The war had led to technological advancements and an increase in industrial production, which continued into the post-war era. The demand for consumer goods surged as soldiers returned home, leading to a construction boom, increased automobile production, and a rise in the housing market. This growth was supported by government policies including the GI Bill, which provided veterans with access to education and low-interest home loans, significantly boosting the real estate sector. Additionally, the agricultural sector benefited from technological innovations and increased demand for food. While the film industry saw a resurgence in production as soldiers returned to civilian life and sought entertainment. 2. The dot-com bubble, 1995 to 2000. The late 1990s saw a dramatic rise in the technology sector, particularly in internet-based businesses, leading to a significant economic boom in the United States. Venture capital flowed into tech startups, resulting in rapid revenue growth and increased consumer internet usage. Companies like Amazon and eBay emerged, leading to a transformation in retail and commerce. The real estate market experienced growth due to increased wealth and investment in tech hubs, particularly in Silicon Valley. However, this boom was characterized by speculative investments, and the bubble eventually burst in 2000, leading to a recession. The film industry also saw significant growth during this period, with increased production and investment in technology for special effects and digital filmmaking. 3. The 2008 financial crisis and recovery, 2008 to 2015. The global financial crisis had significant impacts across various sectors, including agriculture, real estate, and film production. Following the housing market collapse, real estate values plummeted, leading to a recession. However, post-crisis recovery efforts initiated by governments and central banks, including low interest rates and stimulus programs, contributed to a gradual economic recovery. The agricultural sector benefited from increased demand for food and commodities, while the real estate market began to stabilize and grow again. The film industry adapted by shifting towards digital distribution and production, leading to an increase in independent films and a resurgence in box office revenues as audiences sought entertainment during economic uncertainty. By 2015, many industries had returned to pre-crisis growth levels, showcasing resilience and innovation in the face of challenges. Future outlook: projected 35% revenue growth in agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025. The anticipated 35% revenue growth across agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 represents a convergence of optimism and strategic innovation in these sectors. Each industry exhibits unique dynamics that reflect broader economic trends and societal needs. Here is a detailed look into the future outlook for each sector. 1. Agriculture. The agricultural sector is poised for a robust growth trajectory driven by several factors. Rising commodity prices, as indicated by the Purdue University AG Economy Barometer. U.S. farmers have experienced a significant increase in crop prices, with corn and soybean prices up by 9% and 5% respectively. This uptick translates into higher revenues and profitability for farmers, fostering positive sentiment for the future. Increased investment. Farmers are showing a willingness to invest in their operations, with a notable interest in diversifying income sources such as leasing land for solar energy production. This diversification not only offers additional revenue streams but also aligns with sustainable agricultural practices. Technological advancements. Innovations in farming techniques, precision agriculture, and biotechnology are expected to enhance productivity and efficiency, further boosting revenue. Concerns and challenges. While optimism prevails, concerns about trade policies and operating loan repayments remain. The sector will need to navigate these challenges to sustain growth. 2. Real estate. The real estate market is set to benefit from trends in agriculture and economic recovery. Increased demand. The growth in agricultural income is likely to drive demand for rural properties as farmers and investors seek to acquire land. Additionally, urban migration and population growth will continue to stimulate interest in residential and commercial real estate. Investment opportunities. Opportunities in real estate investment are expected to rise, particularly in areas that support agricultural ventures and infrastructure development. The anticipated increase in farmland values will also create favorable conditions for real estate investment. Sustainable development. Increasing awareness of sustainability will shape real estate development, leading to more investments in eco-friendly buildings and renewable energy projects. 3. Public safety. The public safety sector is expected to grow significantly due to the following factors. Increased funding. As communities demand enhanced safety measures, government funding and resources allocated to public safety are expected to rise. This will facilitate the implementation of advanced technologies, training programs, and community outreach initiatives. Technological integration. The integration of technology in public safety, such as surveillance systems and data analytics, will optimize resource allocation and improve response times to incidents, thereby enhancing community safety. Community engagement. A growing emphasis on community policing and engagement will foster trust between law enforcement and the public, leading to collaborative safety initiatives. 4. Film production. The film production industry is undergoing a transformative phase, with several factors influencing its outlook. Recovery from disruptions. After facing significant declines due to strikes and the pandemic, the industry is on a recovery path. States are actively enhancing production incentives, with California, New Jersey, and Louisiana leading efforts to attract filmmakers by improving tax credit programs. Competitive landscape. Competition with international markets, particularly Canada, remains fierce due to favorable tax incentives and lower production costs. U.S. states are responding by offering more attractive incentives to retain productions. Shift in production trends. The industry is witnessing a shift toward independent filmmaking, bolstered by new production incentives and lower costs. This trend is expected to create a vibrant market for diverse content. Focus on quality over quantity, as studios recalibrate their strategies post-pandemic. There will be a greater emphasis on producing high-quality content rather than merely increasing output, ensuring sustainability in production efforts. Conclusion. The projected 35% revenue growth across agriculture, real estate, public safety, and film production by 2025 reflects a collective optimism driven by strategic investments, technological advancements, and community engagement. While each sector faces distinct challenges, the overarching narrative is one of resilience and innovation. By leveraging these dynamics, stakeholders can position themselves to capitalize on the growth opportunities that lie ahead, ensuring a robust and sustainable future.